everyone, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are building in the world of Selvadorada, which we got with the Jungle Adventure game pack, and we are building a rental unit today that is basically a renovation of the original Selvadorada villa. Now, I'm kind of using the word renovation loosely. I wouldn't call this a replica or really anything of the sort. Like, if you look at the original Selvadorada villa that we have placed, it was very much it gave very much EA build in the sense that it just wasn't very put together nicely. There was some missing doors, I think, and it was just kind of clunky looking. And I found the inspiration for this build today was a image that I found on Pinterest, which I will do my best to remember to leave a picture up in the corner somewhere. But yeah, I saw this image on Pinterest, and I honestly, side tangent, I don't know if this was an AI type thing or just like something else computer generated, but overall I did like the way that it looked, so I decided to build something kind of similar looking to it today. Now, the beginning of this build was definitely a little bit of a challenge, mainly because I forgot that platforms and foundations do not work together as well, or like at all. So I needed to figure out which one I was going to primarily be using, and I ended up deciding to go with the foundation, which I don't really know if that was the best choice at the end. I feel like I made it work, but it was definitely not ideal. I just wish that EA would figure out some way to make platforms and foundations like work together, because it definitely put a hindrance on this project overall, because as you can see in like the Pinterest image, there's a lot of like split leveling almost, and I just wasn't able to do that with the foundations. But I found a way to make it work, and I do hope you guys enjoy the finished product in the end. I also want to apologize if you guys hear any meowing in the background. I recently got a new kitten was it last weekend or the weekend before? Honestly, I think it was last weekend. Actually, it was like Thursday last week. And I've still been getting her acclimated. She is honestly just like one of the highlights of my life, and she just meowed super loud, so I'm sure you guys heard that. Sorry about that. But I ended up kicking her out of my room, but she's still at the door waiting for me to let her in. But I just didn't want her to, I guess, distract me and also be a distraction to this voiceover. But she is thoroughly loved. Don't worry about it. I still love her. I will be letting her back in when I finish recording, but she's very vocal right now. Enough about my new cat. Let me start talking about what I am doing right now. And that is basically just trying to figure out the layout and the entrance of this lot. Now, like I said, I originally built this as a rental, but of course, you are more than welcome to switch it to whatever type of build or place you want to. If you wanted to make this into a residential, that's totally fine. It wouldn't really take much. I did add a trash can and mailbox in the front just in case, because I feel like more people would probably use this as a, what is it called, as a residential. But of course, if you I like, the mailbox is a neat, like, you don't have to delete it if you're gonna use this as a rental. Yeah, it's there just in case you wanted to convert it to a residential, because I feel like more people use residentials compared to rentals. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I rarely take my Sims on vacation, and I feel like that's so bad. But I feel like there's just not really much for them to do on vacation. Like, I feel like Granite Falls, like camping, that's a really good one. But like Selvadorada, I've only really gone there once, and that was really just to explore and like see what the game pack had to offer. And don't get me wrong, I'm not by any means calling Jungle Adventure a terrible pack. It's probably up there with, I can't call it one of my favorites, but I do enjoy a lot of the build items that we got. Even some of the gameplay is quite fun, but it's just not a world that I often go to. But I figured, since I did a villa, it was a more Mediterranean villa, like it wasn't the last build I did, but the build before that one. And I figured, why not tackle something a little bit similar, but just more vacation inspired, I suppose. Also, this is definitely not a limited pack build. I used so many packs on this guy. I definitely wanted to like use more packs coming off of my last speed build, which was a what was it? It was a modern base game house. And after that build, it was very limiting, which I definitely enjoyed because I can get overwhelmed with all the packs that I have in my game. But I felt like it was nice to return to having all my packs and not limiting myself as much as I did. And yeah, I definitely use what did I use a lot of Love Struck. I use the Love Struck windows. You'll see me use like the black pane ones right now, but I eventually switched them out for like the more like the less modern looking ones, I guess. I don't really know how to call them. But I ended up switching those out, and then I ended up using the Eco Lifestyle door, but I also eventually switched that out for the Love Struck door that matches the windows. And what else? I felt like this build was very plain looking on the sides, and that's like I felt like there was really no way to like make that look better other than just adding like a bunch of like leaves and vines to make it look like a little bit more I guess overgrown. Oh, and I'm also adding this like lovely little like garden. It's not really a garden, but it just like has like a lot of plants in it in front of like the main window that we have in the front of the lot, and I love how that looks. Also, if you are wondering the price of this build, it's definitely not budget friendly at all, and I do apologize for that. Maybe one day I'll get around to building a more budget friendly rental, which I don't honestly, I'm not even sure if that it's possible. I'm sure. I'm just like I want to like you want your rentals to be fun and like have a lot of stuff to do. But I think it'll be like a little bit of a challenge trying to do that on a budget. But I don't know, maybe if you guys request it or want to see one, I'll definitely try to figure that out. But the price for this build, I think it's like over somewhere around like the 1,000, almost maybe 2,000. No, it's not that expensive, but it's definitely like maybe around like the 1.5 thousand per day type of like price range, and then like the overall price is 137,048 simoleons. So it's definitely gonna take your Sims quite a bit of money if they want to live in here. But of course, if you really don't care like I do, sometimes you're probably just gonna use the motherload cheat, which no shade, no shame there at all. I've done that plenty of times in my playthroughs. But here I am now, still figuring out the like front landscaping. I think most of the landscaping before I do the interior, which has been kind of a trend of mine. And I don't know, I for this one I was kind of excited because, the landscaping in Selvadorada is quite lush, very green, very forest vibe, very foresty, I guess. And yeah, I really just like the lush greenery that I was able to add around this place, like some of the vines even on like the balcony or patio area. I really love those. But yeah, here I am finally getting around to figuring out the floor plan. This house has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It sleeps up to 6 Sims comfortably, with enough room. I did add like a little child's room if you wanted a child Sim to sleep here. Of course, it's not exclusively limited to child Sims. But I did add like a couple toys. I think I added like a doctor's playset, and maybe that was like the only child thing I added. But it's like a bunk bed room, and then there's like 2 other rooms that can like honestly be interchanged for the master, although one of them does have like an adjoining bathroom, which was I did like the bathroom for like, which I guess you can call the master bedroom. I did it a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted to add like a master like bathroom area. There wasn't like a lot of space, so what I ended up doing was I added like a like custom shower in one side of the room, and then on the other side of the room there's like a bathroom and a sink, which is accessible through like an archway. I didn't add like a formal like door. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not entirely sure why I didn't add one, but I just felt like it would have been too much maybe. Or also with the doors I was using like 2 tile wide doors, and I didn't want that to fear with like the sink or the toilet, which because it was a pretty cramped space in there, and I didn't want to add too much. And then I'm not sure. Do I? Oh, you'll also see me like fidgeting with the outside staircase to the front door, like quite a few times, because every time I adjusted like any of the walls or like added something, like it was just so finicky. So I had to keep adjusting those stairs, and you'll see me do that quite a few times. I'm sorry about that. I tried to edit out as much as I could, but some of it was just kind of unavoidable, I guess, because I did go back and do it quite a few times. And honestly, if I was to redo this, I probably would have just waited until the end. But I think, I don't know, part of me was just like so bothered at how it kept moving and how it looked from the outside. I just really wanted to fix it right away. But here I am finally adding some just like greenery and some vines on the exterior. I really just didn't vibe with how plain it was looking on the outside. It was just so like barren and white, which contrasted like very much with how like the rest of the world was looking. And I just wanted to add a little bit more detail, make it look a little bit more, like I said, overgrown. And I think I was able to accomplish that pretty well. Also, while I have you guys here, I did want to talk a little bit about what the Sims recently dropped, which was their roadmap for the next month, I think until the end of the year, which I am super excited about. I think we got like 2 kit confirmations, a game pack confirmation, a base game update, or they said like multiple Sims 4 updates, hopefully. And they also announced like some more bug fixes. I remember because I was watching Little Simsy's video for the Sims 4 10th anniversary, which I just remember watching. If you haven't watched her video, please go watch it. It's so, because she has on like this like the funnest Sims 4 gear. Like she has like all the Sims 4 gear on. Like she was like amped up for this, what's it called, for this birthday. And the only thing Sims 4 announced was some bug fixes, which was highly disappointing. But I guess they came back to announce a few more things. So we're getting a artist studio kit, a Sims 4 storybook nursery kit, a Sims 4 Reaper rewards event, which I guess is gonna be maybe similar to like the event that they had where it was like limited time. Was it? I guess it was like limited time, but it was like all base game items, and you just had to like log in reward. It was like login rewards. That's what I want to call it. You just logged in like every day or like every other week, or not every other week, but like every day for a certain amount of time, and then you would get like certain items. And I'm really excited about like this Reaper's Rewards event, because I really don't know what that's going to entail. Like what are we going to get? Like obviously it's going to be like something to do with the Grim Reaper, right? I don't know. Very interested for that. And then we are also getting a Sims 4 Life and Death expansion pack, which I have no clue what that is going to be. Like I have no clue. Like Little Simsy in her video was speculating like maybe like obviously like Life and Death, like it has to come with like new deaths, right? But I'm thinking like maybe we might get some more things for elders. She was also speculating about like maybe things for ghosts, which would be interesting. I never played with ghosts in my game. I'm just like, if you're dead, then you're kind of gone. Bye. Like even in my legacies, because I'm not like, when it comes to my Sims, like I do get sad when they die, but I'm just like not hugely sentimental about them, because ghosts are kind of annoying. They just show up and they're just there, and it's like, okay, you're haunting me now, and I don't do well with haunts in my game. Don't get me wrong, I do have the paranormal stuff pack, and I do actually really enjoy a lot of the items in that pack, but yeah, I don't know, it's just not really, ghosts aren't something I normally gravitate towards in my gameplay. But yeah, I'm super excited about that, especially like the kits, which, like I said before, I'm not like the biggest fan of kits, but like I'm a sucker for new content. So if it comes out, I'm most likely gonna buy it. And it seems like they're both build kits, which also I am excited about, because I'm not a big Create Sim player, so I don't really buy the Create Sim kits. I have a few of them, but not all of them. Not all of them by any means. Yeah, looking forward to that. And also, the Life and Death expansion pack is releasing on Halloween, which I think is really fun, actually. I feel like it fits the vibe, and yeah, I'm just like really excited to get my hands on that pack and see what it comes with. I feel like, did we get 3 expansion packs this year? I feel like, I can't remember if For Rent came out this year or last year. Let me look it up real quick. So I guess the Sims 4 For Rent came out last year in December, which I don't know. I guess the years are blending together for me. I don't, but I guess so. Yeah, we get 2 expansion packs this year, and no game packs, which honestly I'm a little bit disappointed about. I have been missing the game packs. I mean, I'm assuming we'll get a game pack when we eventually get fairies, because I know a lot of people have been requesting fairies, and I feel like that's probably gonna be like one of their game pack items, since they usually put occults into game packs. They usually put the well done occults in game packs, let me clarify. um, but yeah, justice for mermaids. Anyway, here I am. I just finally finished up decorating the kitchen, and I'm trying to decorate the dining area now. And you'll see me add a little bit more things to the kitchen here and there, because like per usual with me, I always, as soon as I see something that I'm like, ooh, that really should go here, so I'll I'll skip to a room and put it in there really quickly. But here I am picking out a rug. The dining room is kind of unnecessary, I think, because in the end, like, as you see, the entryway is like really big and there's not anything in there right now, but in the end I ended up putting like a smaller dining table. But I figured like maybe like the dining table in like the dining room is like maybe for like more adult occasions, and maybe like the entryway table is like maybe for like kids, or like the kids table. Also, I'm not really sure, like, did you guys, whenever you like had dinner, or like had like a big dinner, I guess, like on Thanksgiving or something, did you guys ever have to like eat at like a designated kids table? Because that's something that I never really experienced. um but yeah, maybe for storytelling purposes, I guess, like that, the smaller table could be the kids table, since the dining table in the dining room is like kind of bar height, and maybe a little bit too tall for children, even though I'm sure that they could still use it in the game. But anyway, here I am figuring out some more of the floor plan on the upstairs. I really wanted to have this opening for the staircase, and I don't know, I really love having those openings, just because it makes the room feel just like a little bit bigger, and I just overall like how they look. But here I am trying to figure out some decorations for this hallway area, which was kind of difficult. There ends up not being too much out here. I put a plant in the corner, and then I ended up putting like a fish tank next to the windows. And you saw me already at the bookshelf next to the stairs. But yeah, there's not too much going on in here. It's kind of like a weird room, because it's basically just the hallway. I didn't want to leave it too empty, because it I don't know, there's so much space in here. So yeah, I ended up cluttering it not too much. The whole house, by the way, is not really, I held myself back a lot with the clutter, because normally I love cluttering up my builds and make them feel more lived in, but since I originally built this for a rental, I feel like the clutter would have just been a bit out of place. So I ended up just kind of, I cluttered up a little bit, but not too much. And now I am finally moving on to the living area. I ended up using this couch from base game, which I filled with a bunch of pillows. I used some of the pillows that we got, I think, from the Modern Luxe, and then the rest from the base game login rewards. You'll see me add like these little like woven chairs that I think we got from Island Living, but I eventually end up switching them to the side near the like sliding glass door, because I eventually add a game table where they are now. Also, I don't think I've quite like touched on the what this rental includes, other than the bedrooms. Like I said, it sleeps 6 Sims comfortably. It has 3 total bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Well, I guess like maybe 4, including like the weird bathroom situation in the master. But we also have a games room off of the living room and the like staircase hallway area, which I didn't feel like it's not like the biggest room. It doesn't have too much. And I never typically add games rooms, but I figured since I didn't really want to add an office in this house because, like I said, I built it for a rental and I feel like an office is just too like work coded. So I decided to add a games room and I put in there a ping pong table and a darts board. There's also a foosball table, which I wanted to originally add in the games room, but there just wasn't enough space, but I ended up making it work on the upstairs like hallway area. And up there's also a piano as well as a computer, which, like I said, I didn't want to add an office, but I feel like any Sims house kind of needs a computer, so I definitely wanted to include one here. But now I am working on the outside patio space. I put a grill out here, and also if you're wondering if that area across from the pool with the pergola on top, that is totally usable. I play tested this entire build, so your Sims can definitely lounge up there on the, like, what are they called? Like, lounge chairs? Yes, lounge chairs. And yeah, I really like how that looked. That was also in the Pinterest image, and I definitely wanted to incorporate that into this build as well. But right now, here I am adding some pool lighting and like some pool decorations. I eventually switched these base game ones out for the ones that came with the Riviera Retreat kit because I just liked how they looked. They looked like I don't know, they just look a lot better, and they're not as, like, I guess, in your face as the base game ones. But here I am also adding some, like, a table on that little, like, pergola area next to the pool, and I just really love this space. Like, it's so just like vacation coded. It's so beautiful under there, and yeah, I just really like how that turned out. But here I am now finally moving on to the games room. Initially I was gonna have the piano down there, but it just didn't work with how I was thinking it would lay out, so I decided switching that up to the upstairs, like, little landing area. Here I am, I guess, moving back to the dining room, trying to figure out, like, a centerpiece. I wanted to use the, like, little leaves that we got from Seasons, but they just didn't really match up with the vibe that we got from that centerpiece that I ended up using, that we got from growing together. So I just decided to keep the centerpiece by itself, and I think it worked out fine. But here I am trying to figure out some artwork, and I ended up using these beautiful little underwater images that we got from Island Living. I guess I used a little bit more Island Living in here than I expected. But yeah, main packs that I think I used are Love Struck, Island Living, and what else did I use? I used so many packs, guys. I'm, like, so sorry, but I did build my base game house. So, like, if you want a good house that's base game, there's the modern house that I built. Was it last week or the week before? It's been some days since I uploaded, guys, and I am sorry about that. But like I said, I am still getting my cat acclimated to living with me, so I definitely wanted to spend quite a bit of time with her. But I was trying to build this on the side, I guess. But here I am moving on to one of the bathrooms that we have downstairs. I think it's the only bathroom that we have downstairs, and I decided to cut out the bathroom, one of the bathrooms upstairs, because I just feel like this video was already pretty long, and usually when my videos are pretty long, I tell you guys to grab a snack and, like, get comfortable, but I totally forgot to mention that at the beginning of this video, and we're already, like, over halfway through, so sorry about that. But I'm sure, like, by the timestamp you guys could tell that it was going to be a little bit of a longer video today. And I did get a comment on one of my videos. I think it was the last villa that I did, the Mediterranean villa, and it was such a sweet comment. It really made my day, and they basically reassured me, because I was a little bit hesitant about uploading longer videos, and that one was longer than this one. I think that one was like around like the 40-minute mark. And the person basically said that they enjoy the longer videos, so I'm gonna try to do some more longer videos, but also I'll try to mix in and, like, sprinkle in some, like, shorter ones in there, because I completely understand if you guys have shorter attention spans. Like, my attention span is gone. Like, I have virtually like no attention span. I feel like the only thing that could really make me sit down and like engage with something is like a movie. And even then, like I still struggle with like going on my phone or something. And it's just like the curse of being technology absorbed as a Gen Z person, I guess. But yeah, here I am finally, like, I guess, oh, like, what's it called? I was like doing the wood paneling on the outside to be like more diagonal, which I don't do as often, but I really do like the detail that it adds. It just makes it feel a little bit more realistic. And now we are finally heading into the master bedroom, which was a little bit of a challenge, mainly color scheme wise, because I wasn't sure how I wanted this room to look, pretty much. But I think it came together quite nicely. I ended up using this lovely little, like, what is it called? Covering? Oh, there's like a specific word for it, but I don't know what it's called. I'm so sorry, but we got it from the Love Struck pack, and it's just like this thing that like hangs over your canopy. That's what it's called, this canopy that we got from Love Struck, and I'm using it in the green swatch now, but I eventually changed it to white, and that was basically the color scheme for this bedroom. It was a lot of white with, I think, a little bit of brown in there, here and there, but yeah, it's very simple, very flowy, I think is the great word to use for this room. And here you can see I'm adding like that little like built-in shower on the side, which is definitely a little bit weird. I'm not gonna deny that, but I feel like I definitely wanted like the master to have like their own private shower area, easily accessible to them, and then this archway leads into the toilet and sink area. And then I add these lovely little nightstands with fluorescent. I added a little alarm clock on that table. And here I am decorating like the patio space, which I was not sure what to add on the patio because there's so much balcony and patio space out here, and I feel like I wanted to like make sure like all of it was like usable, like none of it was like empty space. Initially I was gonna add like the fire pit on the master area, but I eventually ended up switching it to the other side of the balcony because it's a little bit more accessible, and there's like 2 doors that lead out there, whereas like I feel like the master balcony is a little bit more private and is probably just used by the people who sleep in the master area. But here I am now adding like a few more decorations. I add a mirror and a chair. I guess I'm figuring out a rug for the shower area. I'm definitely not denying how weird this bathroom situation in the master is. It's definitely a little bit quirky, but I think it fits the build, honestly. It's not something I typically do, but for this specific build, I feel like I really wanted the master, like I said, to have their own accessible bathroom area, and I feel like this was the only way I was able to make it work without it looking weirder than it already does. But yeah, I just added the toilet and sink area, and now I should be heading, I think, to the patio area, I think, hopefully. But here I am adding some trees. I use these trees from these plants from the Riviera Retreat Kit on the platform pergola area next to the pool, and I use these lovely Love Struck palm trees. I think I used them twice. I think a lot of the Love Struck plants that we got just because they fit the build, and I love how they look. They're too tall for the interior, but I think they add a really nice lush greenery vibe to the exterior of the build. I also added some wind chimes just for some extra decoration. I feel like decorating the exterior was, like the exterior patio area was a little bit of a challenge just because I wanted it to be usable. Like I wanted your Sims to have stuff to do out there, while of course there's still like stuff to do on the inside. But I think that I added just enough. I also added, towards the end of the build, I added like a juice keg that we got from Discover University. Oh, I guess I also added an easel on this balcony. So yeah, there's tons of stuff. Of course, I added the Woohoo blanket, which I feel like I add in almost every build since Love Struck came out. I don't know why. Actually, I think I do know why. They're just, like, the blankets look so good. I almost added the bearskin one, but I couldn't find place to make it work, and I feel like this wasn't necessarily the build that fits for that type of item. Maybe I'll have to build like a log cabin rental one day, and I feel like it'll look a lot better out there. But I also added another bar. There's already a bar in the dining area, or the dining room downstairs, but I added another one, like a custom one up here on the patio, just for another option for your Sims. And I feel like it's also good for entertaining if your Sims ever wanted to practice their mixology outside or something. But here I am adding this juice keg, which I eventually move over closer to the door, and I put out like a bunch of plants in the corner just for some extra greenage. Greenage? I don't think that's a word. Foliage. Now I'm moving on to the secondary master, which, like these bedrooms are like quite large, I'm not gonna lie. So, like, I feel like another option for this room could have been, I don't know, maybe an office, but I don't know. I really just wanted to have like another area, like maybe you invite like your cousins or maybe like another couple to come vacation with you, and they have a kid and you have a kid, and you can, I don't know, like split the rooms up evenly. Like these like I said, these rooms are both like very large, so I feel like there's more than enough space for your Sims pretty much. And I use a lot of the like a lot of the like dressers and nightstands, and I think I even used the bed that came with Jungle Adventure. There's a lot of Jungle Adventure in this room. I think even that rug I use is from Jungle Adventure. But yeah, it definitely fits the vibe in here a little bit more than probably the master. The master is definitely more like I said, a little like more flowy. It's a lot more white. But yeah, here I am adding just a little bit more decorations. Oh, I love those like little plants that I added out there on the patio from Lovestruck. They're just so pretty. Like here I am adding another mirror. I think I duplicated like a couple items from Jungle Adventure in here, so I'm sorry about that. Like I think I used that mirror also downstairs in like the entry area, but I figured it worked up here as well. Here I am adding just like a little bit of clutter. I added like some board games, this cute little like book cage thing that we got from the Book Nook kit, and I finally adding that like very like mission like inspired table, like side table, or even like a hallway table that we got from, I think it was the Desert Lux kit. And I just love using that table in builds that are like more Mediterranean or Mexican inspired. But I guess this is like a more like South American inspired build, because I'm gonna be 100% honest, I'm not entirely sure where Selvadorada like specifically is inspired by. Like I don't know the exact country, but I'm sure it's more South American, like, because Selvadorada sounds like Salvador, and I'm sure there's like a country like San Salvador. Is that a city or a country? I'm not sure. My geography skills are below zero. I have been out of school for so long. I don't know where half of the places on the planet are, but yeah, I definitely thought that hallway fit the vibe of this build. But here I am finally moving on into the kids bedroom. Kids in like very light terms, because there's only like one item in here for kids. But I do put like a desk in here. Like I said, I also put like the doctor's place set in here. You'll see that I add a plant under the, under the top bunk of the bunk bed. But I eventually switch that and move it over to like next to the dresser. And that dresser we got from Cottage Living, which I really do like that dresser. I just wish that the mirror was functional. I don't know why. I feel like they could have like definitely made it functional. I don't know why they didn't. But regardless, I do enjoy using that dresser. I add a few decorations in here. I think I had like a small like little bookshelf on the dresser. Here I am now, I guess, doing like some finishing touches, because I'm pretty much close to done with the build. Overall, I think this build came out pretty well. It was a little bit tricky, mainly because I don't normally like build rental lots that often. because like I said, my Sims don't really go on vacation like that, but that's also probably just like a personal problem. I should get my Sims out of the house more. I have this really bad problem where I just end up putting everything in my Sims homes to the point where they like almost never have to leave the house. But I need to work on like getting them outdoors more. Like, I don't know what my next build should be. I'm thinking maybe a tiny house because I do like smaller spaces, and tiny houses are really cute and cozy, and I feel like they just add a little bit of, I don't know, coziness to my Sims world, I guess. And they're also like, of course, like smaller and shorter to build, and it'll be like a little bit of an easier video for me to get out. But I don't know, I'm also like on the verge of like wanting to build a restaurant, which I like almost never do. I feel like all my restaurants turn out terribly just because I don't really know what to do with them and like how to lay them out, and mainly how to make them look good. Like houses are definitely like my safe space. Like I can build a house any day of the week, but a restaurant or like a community lot, there's just a little bit more out there and a little bit more challenging for me. But let me know if you guys are open to seeing that, because I'm I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone for you guys. But yeah, I'm adding a little bit of greenery on the outside edges now. Like this whole house is built on a foundation, and on the exterior of the foundation there's like some greenery, like some like extra bits. So I wanted to fill that up with some like foliage and a little bit of greenery here and there. Gosh, I feel like I'm using the word greenery so often. But yeah, I feel like this came out. It was a little bit challenging to figure out how I wanted to like figure out the landscaping for this part, because it's really small first, but I also wanted it to match the rest of the build. But here I am adding that final dining table on the entryway, and we are reaching the end of the build. Surprisingly. Wow. I didn't think I'd be here. But thank you guys so much for watching. This build is available for download on the gallery under Selvadorada Villa. Very much similar to the original Selvadorada Villa that is already there. Or not similar, I guess, on the outside, but similar. Very, like, it's the exact same name, I'm pretty sure. But it is available. My gallery ID is JKenYT. You can find this and my other builds by searching up my gallery ID or by using the hashtag JKenYT. I'm using hashtags now, I've remembered. Everything is playtested, so this build is ready for your Sims to use. Screenshots, of course, are at the end of the videos, so be sure to stick around for those if you want a more in-depth look at the build, at its final product. But yeah, I'm just doing a little bit more finishing touches, adding some rocks, a mailbox, and a trash can. But we are pretty much finishing up everything. Oh, and I also added some lily pads on the pool, which is a little bit different for me because I don't normally do that. But I hope you guys enjoy how that looks. But yeah, we're reaching the end, so thank you guys so very much for watching. Please be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, comment if you have any questions or any comments that you would like me to read, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.